Hi guys, it's Gabby. I'm going to be discussing about this week's TED Talk. I'm going to start off with the first question, and it's how do you feel about what Andrew Solomon discussed? First of all, I like what he mentioned forged meaning and build identity. He mentioned that several times throughout the speech, and I really liked what he explained what forged meaning was and build identity. Basically, he mentioned that forged meaning meant like changing yourself, and build identity meant changing the world. And in order to pursue forged meaning and build identity, that you had to go through some events to change your life or some events that you wanted to change, to end up that position of joy. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just going to use the last scene or last imagery he uses at the end of his speech was when his 4-year-old son is giving the speech about how his dad wishes, or he wishes he was his dad's friend when he was younger, and and he was explaining how throughout his life he wanted to change his life events. He wanted to change who he was, and since he didn't change who he was because he just accepted those facts, those hard events, because he just accepted those those events as it is and the world as it is, it just made him a better and stronger person, and it just made him to become this forged meaning and this his new identity. And I think it's really, and he enjoyed out of it. Like if he hadn't had done, or if he was a different person trying to change himself in the beginning, he wouldn't end up being this happy at the end. So I think it kind of relates to us all. For example, especially like now that we're all going through college, kind of, I guess you can say that can be an example that we can relate to. I mean, we start freshman year in college, and it's nothing like we expected. It's hard. There's a lot of hard work, no sleep, a lot of studying, and sometimes no social life. Like if you're in different degrees, like for example, my degree is nursing, so I heard a lot of people get no sleep, and it's just exhausting. So but after all that hard work, it just comes to the outcome out of it. So I guess you can say the outcome of going through college is learning about life itself, and getting your degree and becoming this other person, this forge meaning and build identity. So which is like becoming a nurse and changing the world and helping others. And so I really could relate to that in that sense. Again, I just mentioned that I really love the forge meaning and build identity. The fact that he brought it up several times throughout the topic, and he started it with it, and then he ended with it perfectly. And it was not boring. It just he automatically got your attention, and he didn't lose it at all. With the forge meaning and built identity, I can sort of relate. An event that has shaped me into the person I am today, I guess, would be the fact that my brothers and sisters, since I was little, my brothers and sisters were drug addicts. So everyone in my family, especially my parents, were way stricter on me, harder on me, and as I was growing up, I kind of hated it, for the reason because I didn't have a lot of freedom. I didn't have, I felt like I was getting compared a lot, like I was not perfect, and I just felt unloved, and I just wanted to change the environment I was in. Like Andrew Solomon said in his, he just wanted to change. He just wanted to change this. Like what if I was straight? Like to me, it was like, what if my brothers and sisters like weren't drug addicts? Like I wanted to have like everyone's lifestyle, like everyone going out, having friends. And, I didn't. But now, it's kind of shaped me because I kind of have this discipline and since since I was younger, I've always had this view of the world that it's always going to be really hard, and that we can't let the world take over us, if that makes sense. But we have to take over the world, and so, or we can't. Not sorry, that sounded really. We can't let the world affect us, but we can let the world affect them. So we have to be stronger than the bad people who influence us. We have to influence the bad people to do good. That's what I've always and I guess that's why I chose nursing, because you can help people instead of destroy them, like my brothers and sisters. Like I can't save them from those drugs and addiction personally, but I would like to save other people from going that pathway, or other pathways like of addiction. Why do you? The last question, it says, why do you feel it's important to advocate? Well, first of all, if we don't advocate, how are we gonna build identity? And again, he mentioned in his speech that build identity was change the world. We're constantly changing as we grow up, and if you can tell, sometimes it's really uncomfortable. So, but it's really hard to build identity, and because with all the problems, I think it's really important, because if we all get together and advocate properly, and build identity, we can change the world into a better place. So our kids, or the next generations, can grow up living in a better world. As you notice now, there's a lot of hate groups coming out, and there's a lot of Trump, and you just don't want to live in a world like that when you want better for everyone. I would think so. That's why I think it's really important, because not only does it change the world, but it changes people themselves.